There will be a summit to discuss Scottish football's Pyro problem after Dundee Rangers and the shenanigans that went on last night in the 5-0 pumping of Dundee. Of course, there was a delay and then there was another delay, and it was due to Pyro in the away end. So this is obviously split opinion. We've seen the Green Brigade get banned similar to this. Now, obviously, everyone thinks it's Palestine, but if you actually look at the small print, it was similar instances like this where they disregarded what Celtic put out. And here are Rangers fans at this away game lighting Pyro. Now, what is my personal opinion? I think Pyro is fine. Now, obviously, in terms of if it's setting off a fire alarm and stopping the game and getting it delayed, that's not exactly ideal. But then you've got people like, Simon Jordan burying this. You've got Mark Wilson burying it on Super Scoreboard, saying that it may be used across Europe and the world, but we don't need it in football because if you look at the best league in the world, which he said is the English Premier League, they don't use it. Yeah, but why do they not use it in the English Premier League? I'll tell you why. Because it's a fucking tourist league, right? That's what I think. It adds atmosphere, and it looks good. It looks cool. See, you see all the players, man. All their Instagram stories, they're all using the photos. They obviously enjoyed it. It creates atmosphere. You look at English football. There was a video going about when Man City got the penalty against United. All the United fans are sitting filming the penalty for City against their own team. What that just sums up how fucking shit. Why should we, why should we try to aspire to be like the English Premier League? Because apart from having more money than us and therefore better quality of players, that's all it's got. Because in terms of fucking passion and etc., it's pish, man. It is. So Simon Jordan and Mark Wilson can talk about issues that it might have for people that have got breathing problems, right? I mean, is he what in any terms? He just says in the next statement, "No, I'm no expert in that." So it is. I think Pyro, personally, there is no problem with it, and I think it adds atmosphere. I think it looks great. Now, there's a summit to discuss this, but I also understand people's point of view of, well, you know what, it delayed the game. We don't want to see that. We've got injury problems, right? There's a lot of that going around where the game was delayed. We've trained. The players have literally played for about 2 minutes and then they've had to come off in the cold and then go back on. I get that argument. I totally do. But for me, it adds to it. We all talk about atmosphere in football matches. If you look, Eastern European clubs, South America, where the atmosphere is fucking great, like Red Star Belgrade, etc., all those teams are whipping out flares. That's just the way it is. And I'm not saying here you whip out a flare and it turns the decibel level up, but you know what? It definitely adds to it, the atmosphere. And it looks like a summit's going to be called on this, and it says the increasing use of fireworks and flares at Scottish football grounds is to be discussed at a meeting later this month. It comes after Wednesday's night's match between Dundee and Rangers had to be paused for 18 minutes after fans let off flares inside the stands. Dens Park was engulfed in smoke, setting off a fire alarm and forcing the players off the pitch. Now, it wasn't actually the referee's decision to bring the players off the pitch. It was Police Scotland to bring them off. So the SPFL has released a statement talking about this, saying the extensive use of pyrotechnics at the match at Dens Park is very concerning and unwelcome. The disruption to the game is obviously extremely regrettable. We await the delegate report and will be with Police Scotland on the incident. Managers of both clubs have condemned those involved. The Football Safety Welfare Association is to hold a meeting later this month with league bosses, Police Scotland and representatives of the Scottish Government to discuss the issue, with pyrotechnics becoming an increasingly common sight in Scottish football grounds in recent years. And it's not just a Rangers thing, and like every team, I would say in the top flight, uses pyro. Any league that takes a football fucking serious and isn't a tourist league will use these things, and like banners, etc. Like and displays. Like you see, like in the Premier League. What name me the last fucking display that anyone can recall in the English Premier League? Oh, you genuinely can't, man. Honestly, it's fucking. When it comes to that, half and half scarves and fucking tin pot, man, that's all it is. But anyway, that is us done. This summit, will there be a proper ban? There could, well, I mean, I say a proper ban, they're already banned, but how are they going to crack down on it even more? Because, you know what, if they really wanted to, they could ban these things for getting in. But it's just, how extreme are they going to go? Police Scotland said there was no arrests, and we'll have to wait and see what happened now. There was no reports of any injuries, but realistically, flares, Was anyone going to come forward with the injuries? I mean, the only people who's going to get injured was probably realistically the people that brought them in. But that's where we're going to leave this, guys, for this summit. Of course, we do have a Scottish Cup semi-final on Sunday. I'm sure there'll be Pyro at that game. I'm definitely sure there will be. But anyway, it left a good image, I felt. But you know what? Not as good as Dundee 0, Rangers 5 image in the top left-hand corner of the screen. But until next time, and there's Simon Jordan also talking about it. If you're Dundee or any of the clubs that are hosting Rangers fans, why would you want that nonsense? He's saying every single Rangers fan should have been kicked out of Dens Park after a huge Pyro disruption. Simon Jordan, he's a fud. Look at him. Specky hot dog, someone called him, and you know what? I can see it. He does resemble a hot dog. He does. But until then, peace.